Hey guys, welcome back. In this episode, we're gonna hook your Sega Genesis up to your HDTV. Okay, so it was RGB SCART to what was it again? Alright guys, so here it is, the Hyperkin HDTV cable for the Sega Genesis. Now keep in mind this supports the Model 1, 2, and 3, and I'll show you how they achieve that in a second here, but this is what you're going to get in the box. You're going to get the Hyperkin cable itself, and on the cable it's got a switch right here, so you can switch the aspect ratio between 4:3 and 16:9. Now it does say in the manual that you want to set this before you power on your console, so no big deal there. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you really quick is the end of the cable, because this end of the cable is obviously a Gen 2 or Gen 3. So how do I hook that up to my Gen 1 if that's what I have? Well, I'm glad you asked. So here you go right here. You have your, this is the cable that would be the adapter that goes into this end. So these two ends go together, and then this end goes into your lovely Model 1 Sega Genesis. So there you go. So they provided this cable for you so it can support, you know, your Model 1, 2, or 3, which is awesome. And then on the other end, as you would suspect, it's got your HDMI connection. So there is a little caveat in the manual that basically just says, hey, if you plug this into your HDTV and for some reason you're not getting a video output, at that point you can hook up this micro USB connection, and that should fix the issue. So before you call Hyperkin support or try to get them to help, if it's not working, is you hook up the power. But not every HDTV is going to require that. So that's just if you need it, and it is there. And this is 5 volt 1 amp. So make sure that you have a 5 volt 1 amp little breakout box, which is pretty standard these days. So just you know, if you don't have that, make sure you have one if you need one. So that's it. It doesn't come with that in the box though. So really quick, I'm just a little about Hyperkin. So Hyperkin tends to make lots of cool retro products because they love retro. So you know you want me. I know I want you. I know you want me. So they're making love to our Sega Genesis console, which is awesome. They love it. And yeah, we love them for loving that. And so I got a chance to meet them at E3, which was really cool. I got invited to check out some stuff behind the scenes, which was really, really awesome. And you know, I was able to get this cable from them, and they said, hey, check it out, and you know, if you wouldn't mind doing a review, that'd be great. And of course, I would love to do a review. They've been actually big supporters of the channel as far as just watching it and enjoying the content. And so this is the first time that they've sent me something to review, so I really do appreciate that. So anyways, without further ado, we're going to hook this thing up and see how it goes, and hopefully it's a great experience because I can't wait to fire this thing up.
Okay guys, I'm sure you're probably wondering why we're back here. The reason why is because when I started hooking it up, I did notice that the connector on the back of the Genesis Model 1 is slightly different than the connector for the adapter. It does fit, it just seems like I gotta push it in a little bit more. So that's the Hyperkin one right there. And then if you look, I have a third-party one I'm about to show you in a second. It's slightly different, and it fits a little bit better. So I'm just wanted to let you guys know it doesn't seem like it's going to do any damage. Just gotta push it in a little bit tighter than you'd think, and that's about it. So not an issue from my perspective.
Okay guys, so quick update. So I actually did have to plug in the power adapter. I tried without it and I didn't get a signal. So like the manual says, sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't, and in my case I needed it. So let's fire it up now. I put in Hyperstone Heist. All right, let's give this thing a shot. It looks pretty good so far to me, so that's a good thing. I will hook it up to my capture card in a little bit. Actually, what am I talking about? Let's put in Streets of Rage. I mean, I know I'm predictable, but I love that game. Let's put in Streets of Rage 2. Yeah, we're gonna kick some butt. I always do that. It's like how after all these years playing this game, I gotta remember what button to press. It's out of control. Wow, I love playing Streets of Rage on a TV this big. It's freaking awesome. It looks really good to me, guys. I mean, is it perfect? No, but I mean, I have a Mega SG, and I mean, this is significantly less than a Mega SG. So just throwing that out there that, you know, for a pretty fairly budget solution, this is pretty awesome. Sometimes I just want to rock out to the music. Like, I don't even want to play, it's so good. It just is though, right? Like, this game used to pump me up so much, it still pumps me up. Like, I don't know, is it just me? Like, you gotta, come on, guys. Like, all right, I know this review has nothing to do with Streets of Rage 4, but please, for the love of God, please do a good job at the soundtrack. Get oh crap. Oh man, I forgot to say his name. Yoko Kashiro. I don't know, that could be wrong. It doesn't matter. I know who it is. I can't say his name very good, but that's neither here nor there. Please, we need it. This is like our childhood. Don't mess with our childhood. Okay, let's go back to the game. Ah! Dude, okay, who carries a knife like that? Who carries a knife like that? I mean, can you imagine, I mean, who's that guy's parents? Like, there's no way they're like, oh, hey, Johnny, that's not really his name, it's Galcia. I don't know, I never really looked at what his name is all these years, but okay, we'll call him Johnny for purposes of this. Okay, Johnny, yeah, when you carry a knife, run full speed with it like this. Like, it's just weird. I mean, that's my only beef. Like, come on, man. No one carries a knife like that. I mean, not that I, anyways, that's all right. I think it looks really good, by the way, guys. We're gonna go upstairs. We're gonna check it out on the capture card so you guys can really get an idea. But I think it looks really nice. And keep in mind, I own a Mega SG, but I like this. All right, let's go upstairs.
All right, guys, so we're upstairs. I want to show you off the capture card what this looks like. Now, keep in mind, I'm not going to do a comparison video between this and like the Mega SG and all that. Only because, guys, this is more of a budget solution. But you know what? It looks really good for a budget solution. So it's one of those things, like Hyperkin tries to build products that like everyone can buy, right? And I just feel like the Mega SG does, you know, even though I like it and I own one, it does kind of alienate a lot of people because it's kind of expensive. And then there's a whole bunch of other solutions too that are the price delta is like, you know, 10 times more expensive, so, or 6 times more expensive, whatever it is. So, you know, for what it's worth, there's solutions for everyone. This might not be for you, but I find it pretty good for what it is. So, you know, here, you be the judge. Here, look at some of the gameplay and you tell me. But, you know, I want to hear your comments, obviously, when it gets posted, but I'm just excited that I can hook up my Model 1 Genesis with a, you know, basically, essentially a single cable. It's pretty cool. I always mess up my buttons. I think I did it downstairs too. I don't know why I always want to press A. I always do. And like, for some reason, you know, obviously that's your special move. So, you know, it takes life away, but whatever. So anyways, guys, I think it looks really good with Streets of Rage. You know, sounds great. Obviously it should. It's coming right off the Genesis Model 1, which we all know, you know, from a sound perspective, that's probably the best you're going to get. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it looks. All right, guys. So the next title we're going to check out is actually Coffee Crisis. So Coffee Crisis is actually distributed by Hyperkin. They're a distributor of the game now. There was an agreement, I want to say it was back in May, made that they could distribute certain titles of Mega Cat Studios. So, anyways, this is one of their games. So we can just get started into it. I just wanted you guys to kind of see, you know, that obviously it works in a Model 1 Genesis, which it should, because the game is, you know, built. It's a modern built game for a, you know, retro console, so it does work. You know, obviously it's supposed to work, but it does work on my Model 1 Genesis. It actually does work in your. It'll also work in a Mega SG, or I haven't tried it in every clone console I have. I have a lot of Genesis clone consoles, and you know, a lot of me buying Genesis clone consoles was so that I could play the games with an HDMI, you know, hooked up to HDMI, and so that's why I was so interested in this Hyperkin product, and it works pretty good. So, but like I said, guys, I'll do final thoughts here in a second, but just wanted you guys to check this game out. Really quick. Wow, level 1's pretty easy. I haven't played this game very much. I've had it for a long time, actually, and I never really checked it out. I think I got it at, I want to say I got it at SoCal Retro Gaming Expo. But it's got a pretty cool soundtrack. They've definitely leveraged the, you know, sound processing of the Genesis to its extent. It's really cool. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop it here, and I'm gonna do some final thoughts and wrap up, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, guys, it is final thoughts time. So what do I think about the Hyperkin HDTV cable for the Sega Genesis? Well, first of all, I think it's great that it supports the models 1, 2, and 3, so it's very, robust and as far as that goes. I also like that it's just a simple solution. It's pretty easy to use. You plug it in, you go, right? And in some cases, you have to put the power adapter on like I did. Not a big deal. The other thing I like is it has selectable aspect ratios, so you can play it in the original aspect ratio of the Sega Genesis, or if you like things stretched to take up the whole entire HDTV and that doesn't bother you, then you have that option too. Now, who is this solution for versus who it's not for? Who it's for is the person that wants to relive the gaming experience of their retro consoles, and they don't have like a perfectionist mindset. If you have a perfectionist mindset, then you're definitely going to be more of a Mega SG kind of guy, or the millions of other ways there are to take an existing console and present that output to an HDTV. But keep in mind, those are sometimes 3, 4, 5, 6 times more expensive than this. This is a $30 cable. So I think when you think about the overall value of what you're getting, the amount of money you have to spend for something that gives you a pretty good experience, then I think it's really worth it. So would I recommend it? Yes, but keep in mind, I wouldn't recommend it to those people that are ultra perfectionists, that every little minute detail has to be perfect exactly the way they remember it, or even better than the way they remember it. So anyhow, that's kind of my final thoughts there. So if you like this video, please like it. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content, and turn on notifications so you can be informed of future updates. But that's it for now. Put your comments below so I can hear what you think about this, and I'm going to have all the links in the description for you. So I'm going to play you guys out with some Gunstar Heroes, and we'll see you on the next one. Yeah. This game still seems like, I don't know, it seems ahead of its time to me for a Genesis title, but I don't know what you guys think about that, but all right, guys. See ya.